it's BB and welcome back to my channel. We're on a roll. Every Friday we upload, so I hope you stay and have a good time here because we're on a roll. We upload consistently over here. I think it would be fun to have a little girl talk, a little girl chat with you guys, because I really want it to feel like we're on FaceTime with each other. That's how my channel, I want it to feel, like a vibe, like just me and you catching up. We're on FaceTime. I wish I had a glass of wine right now, but I do not. Maybe we should drink some water. Yeah, let me get a glass of water. We have our glass of water with a long straw. I couldn't find a shorter straw, y'all, so this is what we're gonna have to do, okay? I want to talk about some of the things that I've learned in my early 20s. If you guys don't know, or some of you may be new here, my name is Bianca. I'm 23 and I'm in a relationship. I'm in a 2-year relationship now. That is the longest relationship I've ever been in. So I want to talk about the effects social media has on relationships and your personal life in general, and how sometimes making the man your whole identity, making the relationship your whole identity can be so detrimental to you. One thing about me, I am a lover's girl through and through. I am a Leo. We love our people hard. I've learned a lot in past relationships. Mind you, I've only had 2 relationships. Might not seem like a lot of experience to people, but I personally feel like that is enough experience for me to navigate what I want and what I see in social media and what's going on. I feel like that's enough. 2 in there, I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to feel out what's really going on. So we've all had our first relationship. We've all had that, like, oh my God, you're the love of my life. Like, I can't see anybody else but you, blah, 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 blah. 9 times out of 10, that relationship didn't last. The one thing that I learned when I got left, the one thing that I learned was to never make a man, or just never make a relationship your whole identity. Ugh, if I could rewind and tell my younger self, like, hey girl, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure that you are your own person out of this relationship. I feel like people aren't talking about nowadays balancing the commitment of being with your partner and then just being an individual on its own. It's all about my man, my man, my man, my man, which is great because we love our mans. Like, my man for sure. What about me, 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 me? Myself, myself, myself. Yes, you can be in a committed relationship, but you can also be your own individual person and not be so consumed in a certain relationship. Because when I tell you guys, when you lose yourself in a relationship, that relationship starts to dwindle off and just not work out, you're gonna be so like, oh, what do I do now? I don't know how to move on from this. We've been together for so long. I don't know who I am anymore. I've always been with this person. Now I feel like I don't know who I am anymore because this person is not here with me. That's why it is so important to nurture your own identity within a relationship. If I told myself this back in the day, it would have been so easier for me to move on from my past relationships. But since I was so attached to that person and to the idea of this person being my whole life, as soon as that image was gone, as soon as that image said peace out, the feeling I got of just like, what do I do now? It was just a weird feeling, and I don't want any of the girls to go through that now. So what are some steps? The long straw again, I can't. What are some steps so that you don't have to go through that? You're your own person and then you will be fine after this person leaves you, right? Even though it will always be heartbreaking. It will always be a heartbreaking situation, but you won't be in shambles. Oh my God, this person just left me and I don't know what to do now. Like, I'd say the number one thing to do is do the same things that you were doing before the relationship. If you have a certain hobby, if you like going to the movies every Sunday, if you like self-care nighttime routine where you take your time, you don't talk to anyone, you turn off all your socials and you just read your book, don't stop doing those. Those are key elements of your story, of your routine, of who you are. If you stop doing those and you focus completely on this relationship because you're all on the phone all night talking, which is cool, it's fine, whatever. We all be booed up, you know what I'm saying? We all love a little nighttime call. That is fine, but you still have to stick to what originally made you happy. And all of a sudden, if you stop those and the relationship ends, you'll be like, why did I stop doing that? Like, I actually loved doing this. I actually love doing that. Why did I stop doing that? And that's a question that you just don't want to ask yourself. You want to continue to be that girl before you met the guy, or before you met that person. I'll talk about my relationship for a second. One thing that I made apparent when I first started talking to my now partner, you know, sometimes like in the beginning stages, you're just so like, oh, I want to talk to this person all the time. I made it apparent in the beginning of our relationship when we were talking that, hey, I know you want to talk, and you know, I know we both want to talk to each other at night, but I really need some alone time. Like, I cannot just talk to you 24/7. Like, I just can't start off that way. I would get so attached and, you know, just forget what I'm doing. And maybe that's a Leo attribute, because we love our people down, especially people who give us attention. We're like, oh my god, yes, give me attention, please. So I just had to make sure, like, this time around, I'm like, okay, yes, I know I'm starting to like you a lot and everything, but I just can't forget that I need to do my own self-care routine, that I need to relax and just pretend like this evening is just mine. I'm laying down, I'm relaxing, I'm watching my shows, my movies, reading my book, and indulging in my favorite things. Because, you know, sometimes we just get a little bit too consumed with another person in our lives, and that's, I was gonna say that's okay, but it's actually not okay. I've also had some experiences where like girls get into a relationship and they just completely disappear from you. They'll be friends with you, and as soon as they get into another relationship, it's like they disappeared. You do not want to be that girl. And I don't want it to fail though. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want the relationship to fail, but you never know how life works. But imagine that person is not gonna be there anymore and you abandon your friends. It's like, well, who am I gonna turn to? Because you abandoned everybody. You don't have anybody anymore because you abandoned them. Obviously, they're not in arm's reach because you was over there lollygagging and forgot everybody else behind you. Don't abandon your friends when you're in a relationship. That is just like the #1 thing that you don't do. Yes, you love your mans. You want to be all up under your mans. We love that. We love her. We love being protected and cared for under our man. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying, don't forget about everybody else. Don't forget about all your friends or family members. They're here for a reason, because especially when that man messes up, because 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10 they do, you're gonna need that backbone. You're gonna need that support system to bring you back up to where you were. So don't forget about them. And let's talk about the pressures of social media, because sometimes I catch myself doing this as well, which I need to stop. It's so easy to compare your relationship to other people's relationship on the internet and then start unnecessary fights, because it's just like, why don't you do this for me the way so-and-so is doing this for her? It's very easy to do that, especially if a guy's bringing a girl flowers every 2 to 6 hours and you're looking at your man's like, where are my flowers at? We honestly have to stop doing that. No one will ever put the bad sides of the relationship, the bad parts of what's going on in their lives. They only want to show the good parts out there. And lots of times in relationships that I see on social media, so many things come out from these couples that it's just like, whoa. The amount of times I've been so surprised about what's been going on in somebody's relationship because it looks so picture perfect on the internet, it's mind-boggling to me. And it's just not effective. That's just not realistic, because some people do performative things for the internet. People like to show a big bouquet of flowers, 20 Chanel bags on the floor, and then that guy turns around and cheat on her. And from what you think, it's like, oh my god, it's a perfect relationship, da-da-da-da, when that guy is cheating on her behind her back. Or maybe she knows how this world be going. I wouldn't be surprised. But don't ever put those type of social pressures on your relationship, especially if everything's going perfect. If you see nothing's wrong, then don't try to change it or try to fit into societal standards of what a relationship should be. If you are happy, if you are well kept, if you feel protected, safe, and loved, and reassured, and everything that you see that he's doing in your relationship is right to you, why would you try to change it just because you see somebody bought somebody else 40 bouquets of flowers? I just don't think it's necessary. We've all been guilty of this, and that is okay, but just go back down to your roots, why you fell in love with that person. And honestly, if they don't do the things that you are wanting them to do, that you like, let's say if you do want those actions that you see on social media and your person isn't giving it to you, then maybe just go find somebody else that can do those things for you. But to try to force another person to compete with other people online is just like, what are we doing? It's just not beneficial. It's not productive. It's not efficient. Honestly, that's all I got. I feel like this video is just straight to the point. And to any girls out there who are going through a breakup, who did lose their sense of self during their whole relationship, everything is gonna be fine. You will eventually find your way back to yourself. Maybe get back into a hobby, try working out, try going on solo dates. Y'all, the benefits of solo dates is actually mind-blowing. I went on a solo date for the first time, I think last year. When I told you I enjoyed myself so much, I highly recommend solo dates to anybody. Even if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, I highly recommend solo dates. Spending time with yourself, it's kind of like dating yourself. You're taking yourself out on a date. You're looking pretty. You are treating yourself to whatever you want. You don't have to hear anyone say, I don't want to go there, or can we go there another time? No, you're going there because you want to go there. And when I tell you it is a grand old time, you don't have to hear anybody's voice. You can watch your videos if you want to. If you have a little bit of social anxiety, you can watch a YouTube video at a diner. You can go to the movies by yourself and watch whatever movie you want. Just treat yourself, like really indulge in yourself, because no one else is gonna do it for you. No one else is gonna do it for you. You gotta give you that treatment, because I'm that girl and I feel like that girl. Once you start doing those things for yourself, you'll start to get a sense of yourself back, and it's just a beautiful thing. Let me know if there's other things that I should include in the next girl talk, or if you guys have any ideas for the next girl talk, let me know down below. I am not afraid to talk my opinions. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did not already, please like and subscribe because it's fun over here, and I'll see you in my next one.